Bonjour. We are going to go through a couple of the common problems that you had in your writing. Starting with a vocab word. If you want to talking about fun, all right, we've got two different situations to have fun, which are the verbs s'amuser, and I gave this to you. Je me suis beaucoup or bien amusé. You can take your pick between beaucoup and bien, and you can talk to me if you want to change it into the new form for like my family and I, my friends and I. The other way we can see the word fun is like something was fun or something was funny. And this is an adjective, and you're going to want to use the word amusant here. So le film a été amusant would be that the movie was fun or the movie was funny. So you just have to make sure that you know which context you're using that word in. Some other vocab things to look out for is talking about transportation. All right, what are you trying to say? Did you go somewhere via, by means of a form of transportation? If that's the case, you want to use the verb aller because aller means to go, right? Je suis allé, I went. And then you have to say, I went by whatever. Like I went by plane, I went by boat, I went by car, I went by bus, I went by bike, or I went by foot. All right. The other thing you could say is I took a certain form of transportation. And in that case, you're using prendre. J'ai pris, I took. But you're going to say I took a something. So like I took a plane, I took a boat, I took a car, etc. All right. And then if you took a ride on something, the expression is to faire un tour, and then you would follow it by en plus your forms of transportation. So you just got to make sure you are thinking about, all right, did I go this way? Did I take something? Either way is totally fine. It's just your choice which one you want to use. Remember when we're talking about the date, it's le plus number plus the month, which is backwards for how we do it in French. And don't use sur. All right, if you left on the 12th of May, just say je suis parti, I left, and then the 12 May. That's it. No sur at all. Two kind of confusing words for to visit. If you are visiting a place, then you have to use the expression visiter. And that's going to be followed by le, a la, and l apostrophe or le. So j'ai visité la Tour Eiffel. All right. However, if you visit a person, you have to use this expression, rendre visite. Literally, like I gave a visit to, or we would say in English, I paid a visit to. And then it's going to be followed by some form of a. So j'ai rendu visite à mes cousins. I visited my parents, or cousins, sorry. I paid them a visit. All right. The hardest thing I think is we're really dealing with a lot of issues with these prepositions. Preposition is just talking about where things are in relationship to one another, and there's a whole bunch of choices. All right, starting with forms of a. All right, we're using them for places, like geographical locations. We're using it for time, okay, and those are the two big things. De can mean of, and it can also show like something belongs to someone, like Paul's pen, the stylo de Paul. On we're going to get to is when you are in a certain place, but it's a continent or a country, that's feminine. Sur is for like a surface. This is a very physical word. The vase is on top of. That's what sur is, like physically on top of. And then same thing with dans is all about being physically inside of. And then pour meaning for. Or for some kind of duration, like I'm leaving for a week. We're going to kind of keep going with these prepositions. Same thing. So when do I use a or o or some kind of a? You use o, a-u, with a masculine country. You'll know it's masculine because it does not end in e. And you use a with the accent for any city whatsoever. We use en for continents, for countries that are feminine or start with a vowel. And again, it's feminine if it ends in E. And then sur, again, is like in this physical location. Like you're on Mont Blanc. You're on the Nile River. And yeah. So let's take a look. This guy, all right, it can be at, it can be in, it can be to. And it's got to change depending on what follows it. So like au café. Café is masculine. À la bibliothèque. But bibliothèque is feminine. Always use à with cities, nothing else. You're going to use a with the verb aller, like I went to wherever. When do I use all? I use all with countries that are feminine, aka they end in E. So if you went to France. Mexico is the one exception. If you went to Mexico, it's masculine. All right, and then we just mentioned sur is physically on top of. We do not use it with the date. I'm talking like the pen was on the desk. All right, that's when we use sur. Same thing with dans. We use dans when it is physically inside of something. All right, so je suis arrivé à Paris is I arrived in Paris, but we're using that à because it's a city. Whereas je suis monté dans la voiture means I got into the car, like I was physically inside of the car. All right, so those are just a couple things that we have that I saw some issues with. And if you have any questions, touch base with me before we start writing in class. Merci.